What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video though, this video is entitled Can You See It Before It Happens? There's a thing about people saying hindsight is 20/20, which is it was absolutely true. But foresight is becoming more difficult in society because people are not seeing the trends before they happen. And the thing about that is, I think partially is people are so focused on entertainment and narcissism, they're not putting the patterns together, right? And what I mean by that is the patterns of how life works, how situations work, and how you can achieve because you know what's coming. I use a lot of references for sports because they're very easy. I will use like stock references, but they're not as easy for people to comprehend. Here's the thing. They tell players to watch tape so you can see the patterns, you can see the formations, you can see what people do in certain situations. You could predict their moves because you can see them coming. You be like, okay, under this circumstance, this is your bread and butter. This is what you go to. And a lot of people get beat because they don't trust in their instincts of seeing what's coming before it happens. You know, and that's an uneasy place to be sometimes because in some ways it's in the middle. It's in between an educated guess and a walk of faith, right? And there's a risk to it. But if you get accustomed to doing it, you're gonna trust yourself a little bit more and trust the process, because it's just getting over that hump of trusting the process that's really the issue. So what I mean by that is why I was bringing up the film reference. They'll say, you know, in this situation, they go to this particular play, this particular move, these are their options. And it's why you hear guys say they watch film, because they're prepared for what people go to when they're under pressure or when they really need to be effective. Now, same thing that works in fighting. If I know what you're gonna do, got it. I'm shocked for it. Remember, a while back I told y'all I got into a fight. When I got punched in the mouth, I knew what the guy was gonna do. You know, so when he tried to do it again, it didn't work, and I clocked him for it. You know, you make a person miss, you make them pay, because it's about thinking on the fly. To get another example. Back in the day, young is one of my first lessons about this. Not one of my first, but one of the most prevalent ones. I was playing football, and I was practicing this week, and they were teaching for runners to use their blockers, to use their vision to see where they're going, so they could use their blockers to get extra yardage. And I just kept it, you know, they teach you something in practice, you're supposed to use it. So coming to game, instantly the memory came up because I basically ran like a blast or something. And what I did was I had set up two DBs. I cut inside to make them both go inside. And when I cut inside, they both cut with me. But the thing about it was I saw one of the receivers on the outside. So I cut inside to get both of them to go that way as a fake or whatever. So when I cut back, basically the receiver decked both of them because they were so close together. And I was off. It's a touchdown. Because I could see it before it happened. And I remember the coaches of the other team like, look, don't get caught up in that, because I could hear them. You know, sometimes when you're in intense situations, your senses heighten for something. You know, some people don't realize that your eyesight may heighten, your hearing may heighten, Your strength and speed heightened because of adrenaline. And I also remember this in other instances, not just fights, not just sports, but when you were able to predict people's habits. Like when I was in college, one of our homeboys that was a neighbor was I ain't gonna say his name. It was a crazy nickname, but he would come asking for advice, and ironically, I'm silly a lot of times, and I'm quiet and to myself to a degree, but people used to ask me for advice about stuff. So what I did was he asked my opinion. I said, listen, I'm not gonna tell you really anything because this was gonna happen. If I tell you, you're not gonna listen. You're gonna do what you want to do. It's gonna end this way, and then you're gonna come back here and be upset because you didn't take the advice. And he argued me up and down about it. So I told him, my advice. It made sense to him. He walked off, and he did exactly what he wanted to do, the way he wanted to do it. He wound up in the very situation I was talking about, and then he came back, and because it was a group of us in that day he asked, they all cracked up laughing. He's like, didn't he tell you, that you was going to do all this? And the thing about it was, that's the part of seeing it before it happens, because you got to understand the nature of things. Sometimes we're so in the moment that we don't have a vantage point. We don't think outside of the moment. And you can't really be ahead of the curve if you so in to that particular moment. Thus, the idea of fighters going to the body first and then to the head later. And what that means is you're watching a fight, and it looks like one person's winning because they, like, say, the first 6 rounds they're swinging for the head, and the other fighter, make counterpunch, hitting the head, blah blah. You know what? Use Floyd Mayweather as an example. Normally if you watch his fights as he got older, his first punch was normally a jab to the body. Normally, he fought inside. Normally a short hook or uppercut to the body. And then people's like, well, how does he keep winning? Very simple. He sees things before they happen. I know you're gonna break down because I'm gonna keep hitting you here. You're gonna slow down. While you're trying to knock my head off, I'm gonna keep hitting you in the body. And the slower you get, the easier it is for you to miss. Thus, the easier it is for me to counterpunch and clock you over and over and over again. Thus, discouraging you because I can see it before it happens. See, you were fast in round 1. Round 3, you wasn't so fast. Round 5, you breathing heavy. Round 7, you kind of gassed. Round 9, you're done. And you're just doing it off sheer will. Even with the technique involved, you're just super slow. 10, 11, 12, you're done. That's why he kept winning the championship rounds. Because you can see it before it happens. Same thing, what was that movie, The Big Short? When the guys were predicting the housing bubble burst. People keep telling you this is where the trends are going, but you don't want to listen. Oh, it's going this way. Same thing when people talk about automation. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But everywhere you go, you see more automated machinery. More grocery stores, automation. Retail stores, automation. You're shopping online and people are shipping it to you. You don't even have to. It's to the point where even grocery stores are slowly are creating curbside and delivery. Where do you think those jobs are going to go? Because eventually they're going to get out of curbside and just right into delivery, and you can be ordering it from home. And all those people that work there are not working there no more. You remember when people used to say get into fiber optics? People was, well, that's crazy. Right now it's probably a great time to get into cryptocurrency. Just saying. Not be, you ain't gotta pick Bitcoin and lose your damn mind. Just pick a bunch of cryptocurrencies that's small and put a little money in and watch it grow. You know why? Because we're getting away from paper money. Everything is digital, crypto. Crypto basically. You can, you're using the card. The card's about to go out of style because people using watches and phones and this and that and the third. So cash is, think about the treasury also. With less need for cash, less need for jobs at the treasury. Less need to print all this money. All it is numbers anyways. You're going to have a digital economy. So, I'm just asking, can you see things before they happen? Like, share, and subscribe. We out. Peace.